Everybody, good afternoon. It is the June update, real estate market update, and welcome to another episode of State of the Real Estate Market with yours truly, Chris Brown. I appreciate everyone chiming in. We just want to make sure we got our people available. It looks like we are in our I think a few folks are in Zoom, and I think a few folks are also getting this live through YouTube. So be sure to chime in, say hello, say hello. If you're able to hear this, we want to make sure everybody can hear what's going on. Be sure to say hello. Just give it a thumbs up. Make sure that everything is in the clear. But as we go through this state of the real estate market, this is something that we do once a month, just giving you guys a general update of what's going on. There's so many changes that are going on in the real estate market as it may pertain nationally and as it may pertain locally. So I try to touch on a few different things, just give you a little bit of taste. And obviously, if there is additional information that you want, feel free to direct message me and I'll be able to create some different content in that regards. Always want to be able to add value to this particular channel so that you guys are in the know of what is going on. So with that being said, let's go right ahead. We are State of the Real Estate Market. This is the June edition. This is the update that we like to give everybody and make sure everybody is staying in tune of what is going on. So bear with me momentarily. All right, if you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We want to make sure that you guys are getting this information and that you're getting the latest and greatest. As I'm doing different updates, as people have, some requests. A lot of people have some general requests that they like to have. Let me make this quick adjustment for you guys. I had a few folks that are saying that they were having some challenges with the. There you go. There you go. There you go. No more blur blur. So no more blur blur. So be sure to like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you haven't already done so, in the descriptor there should be different ways of following me on social media. Be sure to do so. Um, for those who aren't aware, this is a platform that we not only talk about buying, selling, and investing in real estate, but we also talk about building generational wealth as well as different hot topics regarding entrepreneurship. There's a lot of different things that are going on that I like to make sure that everybody's in tune to. And just be aware of, because I always get these questions like, "Hey, do I know about this new hot topic, or just different things that are going on." So I like to think that I'm in the know of a few things. So want to be sure to share that with you as those items do come up. So in today's episode, we are going to be going over a few different things. So with that being said, we will talk about the builder confidence as it continues to fall. And this is from a report that I get from the National Association of Home Builders. This is their June report, and this is someone or organization that I've been following for a while, actually a couple of years now, in regards to having a better pulse or having a finger on the pulse of the real estate market, as in what's going on as it may pertain to our buyers buying right now. And they do this a lot because this report is a huge report, especially for new construction. They need to know a lot of the things that they do is dealt upon their inventory. So if they're going to be building, they need to make sure that there are going to be people to actually buy these homes. And also, if there's no one to buy these homes, they know that the builder confidence, that level, that index code that they have is typically a little bit lower than what it typically would be. So this is one of the meters that are out there that you can actually utilize and be able to measure, our buyers are actually buying right now. And obviously that's, has to deal a lot with the new construction, but it also gives you a lot as in what's if buyers are out there actually looking. So if they're actually looking, they're probably looking at resale as well. Depending upon your market, there's some markets that have more resale than others, and then those markets that have new construction and resale, That's competition. So I'll let you know. So we'll actually talk about a few things today as well in regards to that competition. So America's second largest home builder sees house prices plunge. So this is some information, another group that I follow that plays some information about the second largest home builder. So if you are in my market, a lot of people would say, well, who's the most popular or who's the biggest builder in my particular market? I'm like in the Tampa Bay market, kind of spreading out from there. And the reason I say this is just because it's less and less land, so things are starting to push out a lot more. So in my area, one of the bigger builders is not the second. I mean, actually, is the second largest home builder in the United States. So so if you guys are thinking of Lennar, yes. If you guys, for those who are in the Tampa Bay area that are taking a look at this, Lennar is probably, I don't know the numbers just yet, but I want to say they are very popular, very big in the Tampa Bay area. However, they are not the largest in America. So just give you guys a heads up on that. So who is the bigger one is D.R. Horton. That is the bigger one. That is the number one. So keeping you guys aware of that. So I always tell people, because I'll go to other markets and see some of the homes, and the homes are same builders, completely different designs, and it's you kind of are shocked and awe as in like some of the homes that they're actually building, because I look at some of the homes in some of the communities here, and they're like, it's a house, da 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 da. But then you go to other markets, you're like, man, they put a lot of craftsmanship into that one, and it's every market's different. Every even the builder, they have, also depends on the community, the design that they put forth. So, and those designs are shift from different markets, just trying to see which ones are more popular. That's why I always tell people, especially on the investing side, you know, one of the tips and tricks I usually give them is that when you guys are dealing with, let me see here, when you're dealing with properties that you're rehabbing, especially on my investor side, like I said, when you're dealing with properties that you're rehabbing and you're thinking about the colors that these properties need to be, the interior paint, what's going to attract the masses, the exterior paint, what's going to attract the masses, what kind of features should you add on the inside of the property if you are able to add features. These companies you have, especially in the Tampa Bay area, you have two of the largest home builders in the United States. Whatever they're painting the colors to be, trust me, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on research to figure this information out. So why try to recreate the wheel and try to be too creative? Go ahead and mimic or model, as I'm told, model some of the things that are already out there, because it's already been proven to be a success. So no need to recreate the wheel on that. So I always like to tell people about that. So the other items that we'll touch bases on in today's episode, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. If you guys don't know who Jerome Powell is, he is popular and not popular. He is popular because when you guys hear about these interest rates, where the rates are going up, because of inflation, and they're monitoring inflation and stuff. The person who's typically reporting this information is Jerome Powell. He is the chairman. He is probably very disliked. I'm very curious to know how things are if he's seen out in public. I'm sure he try to minimizes that, just because he's always, he has the job of reporting the bad news. So everyone always points the fingers at him when it comes to the rates and everything that's going on, especially regarding inflation as well, because it's impacted pretty much everybody. I want to say, I mean, multiple industries, especially with like food, construction. It just trickles down. So a lot of people are impacted, including myself. You're impacted by these rates, by these changes, by the uncertainty in the economy. So he has the wonderful job of reporting this information. I'll show you guys a short clip on him, and then we have more homes being built um, in Tallahassee. So I've been Tampa Bay market, which is Florida. So in Tallahassee, if you're not aware, that's been known to be more of a college town. They have two big universities that are up there, a lot of college kids that are up there. They're doing a lot of building in that area, whether it be for college housing or even for people who are moving to that area. So what that does is if you have more people moving to the area, that's taken away from the college housing. As these universities are getting bigger, they're looking at housing options and so forth. So that takes away. So with them building a lot, I'll show you guys some information on how they're building in Tallahassee. I know a few folks that are based in Tallahassee that are actually building in Tallahassee, where they're doing. Actually, one of my mentors is doing um, college housing there, and just to hear the numbers of when they're building a home, how much it may cost them to build, and then if they're leasing them back to college students and they're leasing them by rooms, it changes the whole perspective of real estate investing. So and why people are probably building right now and still buying, depending upon the market, as I've always told you guys. All right, so those are the topics that we're going to go over today. So I want to make sure that we touch bases on those so that you guys have a better understanding of what we typically talk about when we're talking about state of the real estate market. What's happening, what can I do next, um, and that's what it's all about. So what I want to do is we'll run into this with you guys. Let's get this going. Let's get that going. That going. All right. So something I want to share with you guys. So the builder confidence. This is an article that I read that I came across, and I want to make sure that I share it with you guys. So as builder confidence in the market for newly single family homes, in the June report. This was reported in June from the National Housing Association. They have an index score, and they had a low index score that was just recently reported at 32. That was, and which is 2 points down from what it was from the previous May report. And this is all according to the National Association of Home Builders. Their report that they released. The index score that we're currently at has only posted a lower reading twice since 2012. So since 2012 to right now, we're in 2025. We've only had this low of a score twice before, and so that kind of gets you to thinking. I believe it was in December of 2022 when it hit a 31, so it was just a little bit lower. In April of 2020, there was a low score, plunged more than 40 points to 70. So, and you guys remember that with 2020, that was the start of the pandemic. And that's when it plunged more than, like I said, more than 40 points to 30. So the ball was rolling. And then obviously we know what happened after we got into the pandemic and things were going a certain way. Things just took off. So just kind of giving you guys a heads up on that. But with this report, it says the buyers are increasingly moving to the sidelines due to elevated mortgage rates and tariffs and economic uncertainty. This was all reported from the National Association of Home Builders Chairman Buddy Hughes, a home builder and developer from the Lexington, North Carolina area, to help address affordability concerns and bring hesitant buyers off the fence. A growing number of builders are moving to cut prices. So I know a lot of people are seeing price reductions. I'm seeing price reductions as well. And this is like from builders, like you can see when they're posting a property that's out there, as buyers are not buying at the price that they're setting the homes at, they reduce the prices so that people, I mean, it's a psychological thing. When people see a price reduced, they feel that it's at a discount. Whether it's for a rhyme or reason, is it because of the economy or something going on with the property? But with that being said, it's psychological. When people see prices go down, they want to go out and take a look. They probably could have afforded it at the higher prices, but then you have people that'll go out and look because they see the lower prices, or you're in a situation where people are like, well, I told you so, that the price is going to go. And then you have those that'll just continue to sit on the fence and say, hey, I'm going to wait for the prices to continue to go down. Is that going to really, really happen right now? I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to have to see. So other information that's out there that I wanted to chat to you guys about was the Lennar. So with Lennar being the second largest home builder in the country, they reported an 8.6% year over year drop in the average sale price in the second quarter of 2025. As this whole ongoing slump with the housing market, um, this impacts, like I said, it's a domino effect. It continues to impact the individuals, and it also impacts the bigger people, the developers, so people that are actually developing properties. And I know these reports are coming out and they're saying this, but if you're in the Tampa Bay market and you've been exploring, I get an opportunity to explore. I'm continuously seeing land that is being flattened, trees being knocked down. They're being prepared for communities. I continuously see this, and I'm seeing this a lot. And I'm just in an area that's in the Tampa Bay area, and I probably drove about a half a mile of where you just see where the land has just been cleared for, and you can't really see beyond that. So I understand what the reports are saying, that the buyer's confidence has decreased, the prices have decreased, but they're still building in some kind of way. They're still buying land. These big developers, they're still flat. They're still going on with the process. So why are the Lennar prices going down? Lower prices is often proven to be the best course of action for this particular build, Lennar, and other U.S. developers trying to offload their properties at a time when demand remains weak across the country due to historically elevated mortgage rates and sky high home prices. So, as we know, the mortgage rates are up and the prices are up. Now, why things were so successful during the pandemic was because prices were up. We knew that, but the interest rates were low. So it was, even though the prices had gone up, the interest rates were low, so people were able to borrow these funds at a much lower cost per month. So it will, when I say cost, that's less of an investment per month that they would have to come out of pocket. And it also made it, when they're doing the debt to income ratios, it made it a little bit more affordable for them as well. So with that being said, Lennar is one of, like I said, it's the number two um, builder in the United States. They're starting to drop their prices. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, you're seeing a lot of price drops because, since I would call Lennar like the Nike of home builders in the Tampa Bay area, whatever the big dog is starting to do, you'll start seeing others do as well. But this is their response to what they want to offload inventory. Is this inventory that they've had stacked up, or they're just trying to get more interest? Because when we see lower prices, that's when people start going to go look at those properties. And are they building that attention? Are they really getting lower prices? What else is being involved? And I'll touch bases on that too, because at the end of the day, you want to get people in the door. Once you can get them in the door, then you can talk to them, help them understand what opportunities that are available to them. So lowering prices are often proving to be the best course of action for, like I said before, for Lennar and other developers that are in that same industry. Home prices were still rising year over year in May. So prices are still going up, but they're slightly going up. So it's not like the pandemic where the prices just went. Somebody else said it was a hockey stick, and it just went shot up. So it's not the same, but the prices are still going up. So it's still maintaining the investment. People who purchased homes, their investment is still safe. It's just that it's not going up as fast as it was. So just keep that in mind when people are like, "Well, I want to get a deal." What The prices are still slightly going up. They're just not going up as fast as they were before. So keep that in mind. So I definitely want to share information regarding our guy uh, Jerome, and I enjoy watching him because I know I've seen him age over time, and because of that, he goes through a lot. I'm sure he goes through a lot. I'm sure this is no secret to anyone that is out there. His name is brought up every time that rates are around, and people are looking for these reports that come out on a regular basis. They're looking for him to report it, and that's his job. I even think he's lost weight during this time as well. So kudos out to Jerome Powell as he endeavors this, endures this, excuse me. And so let's check out our guy. So there you go. I don't. He goes on for like 8 minutes, so I won't take up the time to actually go through that. But long story short, he basically goes into the fact that interest rates are not going to experience. Everybody's anticipating some type of big drop. I don't understand how or why, but they're expecting some type of miracle to happen very soon. Um, but if you guys have been following me for a while, you'll understand that this is literally a month to month process where we're really looking at this information each month just to kind of see if there's been any changes. There has not been any big changes. We are in what we consider the sales season. If you're in the real estate, you're selling real estate, or if you have real estate to sell, this is considered to be in the sales season during the summertime. As we get closer to, say, the month of September, things slow down traditionally. And I say that traditionally. Traditionally, sales slow down in the month of September. And that's been how the patterns have been in the past. Obviously, since the pandemic, all patterns and everything are out the window. So with that being said, are we anticipating the interest rates to be lowered at some point during the summer? That's the word on the street, but obviously I like to make sure I give you guys a report, keep you guys up to date as in what exactly is happening. So people like Jerome, or he is the guy right now. Jerome is definitely the guy, but it's just being able to pay attention to the market as in what's going to happen and see how it's going to impact you. Not everyone is going to have the option of buying or selling when they want. Some people are going to have to sell because of life. Life happens. There may be a situation where they're moving. They are moving because they have grandkids. I've seen a situation where they have grandkids in another state. So kids are only getting older. If you sit here and just wait to sell your property, the kids are getting older, and that was the main purpose of you wanting to go move closer to the grandkids. Or it's a situation where your job moves. Now your job is moved. Now you got to place your property on the market. Put your property on the market, you're trying to get it sold quickly. So, and you're trying to move to another area, then you're going to have to buy. Then, if you have to buy, then you're going to get that impact of why am I having to pay so much more. So, a lot of people, this is the primary reason why a lot of people are staying on the fence. So, I did tell you guys that there is a big trend right now that's going on in Tallahassee. Tallahassee is experiencing a lot of growth. With this growth that they're experiencing, they are experiencing a lot of building. I even mentioned that I know a few folks that are building in Tallahassee. This is their area. There's a lot more land in that area right now, and I think a lot of people have figured that out. And people are moving where housing is probably less. But what's going to happen? If the closer you live to a metro area, the prices are jumping up. A lot of the people that were in the Northeast, out west, they're all coming to say the Florida market. They're jumping the prices up. Some markets that weren't as expensive now are a bit more expensive. And I say expensive, but let's say affordable. Affordable. We'll use that word. And affordable these days are not the same as it used to be when you use the word affordable. So keep that in mind. But definitely want to show you guys this right here. So there you go, guys. So this is some of the things that I've been telling you guys about. So be sure to chime in, be aware of what is going on out there in the market because these things are happening. So another piece that I wanted to share with you guys before we head out, because it's a little bit after 1:30, it's the interest rate. So a lot of people are like, so what are the rates right now? So for as of today, national average, this is the national average, 30-year fixed mortgage rate is around 6.82%, down 5 basis points compared to this time last week. To refinance, 30-year fixed, you're looking at an average of about 6.79. So these are some of the things that you got to look at, and these are what people are talking about. So a lot of people are talking about what's going on in the market, what's happening. I can go on for hours talking about the real estate market, as in giving you guys an update. But for the most part, I want to give you guys what you're interested in. I know interest rates are very important. What markets are hot right now? What are people doing? How are builders doing right now? But one of the big things is, even though I provided a bit of negative, I won't say negative, but a down, as in the report. Keep in mind that there's different incentives out there, especially if you're building or dealing with a builder. There's different incentives that are out there that encourage this opportunity. They like this opportunity. So if there's a builder out there, they have inventory, it just means that they have more incentives. They're going to have more incentives for you to buy. They're going to probably pay your closing costs, just like mentioned in that article. People are asking for that because it's available out there. If you're doing a resale, you may have to consider doing that as a seller, paying some type of closing costs, paying something, or if you know that you have a property that is closer to the inner city versus a property that is in a rural area. In those rural areas, that's where they're doing a lot of development. And if that is the case, they're probably offering a lot of incentives. So if you're trying to sell your home that is located in a rural area, you're competing with builders. If you're in the inner city, you're probably just looking to give a little bit more incentives on people to buy your home, or making sure your home is in good shape, and has what buyers are looking for at this time. It has good shape, good features, good condition, making sure that uh, the property does sell in that respect. So, guys, hey, this is myself, Chris Brown, real estate professional and marketing entrepreneur. I know we've been chit chatting for a while, but just wanted to make sure that you guys are tuned in, make sure that you guys are getting the latest and greatest. And that is our report for today. If you haven't already done so, be sure to like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. And until next time, take care.